It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
Let's not dawdle. Let's get right to your top five at 6, shall we? Sad news over the weekend. A couple of all-timers moved on to the next realm. Badfinger's Joey Molland died. He was 77 years old. The man has lived in the Twin Cities for 40 years. Died. He'd been battling diabetes or diabetes, as the old ad would say, for years. Badfinger, of course, in their commercial peak, just as great a rock band as there was at that time. No matter what, Day After Day, Baby Blue. The album No Dice is one of my all-time favorites. This is the last surviving member of the band's original lineup. The band who was signed by the Beatles to their label, and their first hit song, Come and Get It. Paul McCartney did the demo one morning, played every instrument, brought the band in, played it, and he said, I want you guys to record this. This will be your first single. And they were like, okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, that sounds good. We'll put our own spin on it. And he said, no, you're going to do it exactly like I did. And they were a little peeved. And then they went and did it exactly like he did. And it was a massive hit. And they were like, oh, thanks, Paul McCartney. So not only were they a great band on their own, they knew when to shut up and listen to someone else. Badfinger, now Joey Molland joins his bandmates in the afterworld. And man, what nice job, bro. Appreciate that. David Johansen also passed away, the singer for the legendary punk band, the New York Dolls. One of those bands that far more influential and impactful for other musicians that followed than they ever were on the Billboard charts, if you will. A lot of people know David Johansen more as Buster Poindexter, the lounge act sort of crazy character he introduced to the world in the 80s. Also in the movie Scrooge. Johansen, again, like one of those guys. I don't know a single rock musician that didn't have a New York Dolls minute where they went, oh, my God, I thought I knew something. This is entirely different. So two guys who in their careers didn't have the commercial success of some of their peers, but, man, very, very influential. Rest easy, both of you. Number 4 on your top 5 at 6, eatthis.com has listed the 10 unhealthiest foods on the planet.
But we still get to eat them?
We get to eat them, but these are apparently the most unhealthy things. Number 1 on the list, and this is a very serious problem for me, potato chips. I will eat a bag of potato chips like there's no tomorrow. I've been that way my whole life. Number 2, white bread, not a problem. I don't remember the last time I had a slice of white bread. But French fries and burgers, okay, just so you know, in the last 24 hours, I've had potato chips, fries, and a burger.
Right? So then you're 3 for 3.
Just in the last 24 hours. But I didn't have white bread. Well, the bun was probably... Oh, screw it. All right. I'm on borrowed time, clearly, already. Cookies, no problem. Microwave popcorn, not a big deal. Donuts, I don't have a sweet tooth. I'm just at the top of the list. Number 3 on your top 5 at 6. There's a new workplace term. There's a new word people say when you're on the job. They call it task masking. Task masking.
Task masking?
It's when you spend a lot of effort just trying to look busy. You're just trying to act busy. Or as I call it, working. Every job I ever had before I got on, you can't fake it on radio. You got to turn on the microphone and start talking.
Yes, we got to do something.
But every other job I ever had, including being in a band for years, you're just like, oh my God, all you do is walk around and look involved.
How did you task mask in a band? You got to hit the drums.
Oh, no. Sitting at the kit, not then, but the whole rest of the, like, studio hours when people are arguing over should we go to the D or the D minor, and then I get that look on my face like I'm actually trying to think of what I think makes more sense, and this is what's going through my mind during songwriting sessions, mixing sessions, anything that doesn't involve actually playing. My brain is doing this. Meow, 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 meow. I'm full on Homer Simpson. But you guys are arguing over a lyric? Okay, let me know when the ship lands, and I'll hop on it. Maybe we can go to sea again one of these days. Task masking, yeah. No, I grew up. I'm a task masking general. The Taskmaster, maybe that should be the band name, the Taskmasters. Something. I got to figure it out. Everybody, just today, Ryder, after the show, when we're walking around, look at the people in the building and notice who's walking a little quicker than you think is natural. That's task masking. They're acting like, I got to get back to my desk. This is important.
I'm guilty of that one.
Yeah, of course.
I speed walk all over the place.
Sorry to call you out like that.
Thanks.
You're the fastest walker in the building. Number 2 on your top 5 at 6. If you got an ice house, a fish house out there on the ice, I should say, today's the day. Get that bad boy off the ice if you're in the lower 2/3 of the state. If you're farther north, you have another couple of weeks. But today I mean, it's got, yesterday, what a day. It was 50 degrees out there. Get those bad boys off the ice. We don't want to be talking about you as in, remember the Buick in White Bear Lake and now it's your ice house? Come on, guys. Get them in.
A fun drinking game for the rest of us is seeing as the ice house or as the fish house goes through the ice, like how many shots we can take in that amount of time.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Well, I'm rethinking this then.
Game.
Okay,
game.
We can make that happen. We're good We're good at shots. not good at too much. We're good at shots. Yes. Hey, how about a morning shout out to Champlin? When I first got here, January of 23, I said Champlin because I thought champagne.
No.
And I said Champlin, and of course there was that pause, and everybody just was like, "Dude." What? Champlin. I'm like, sorry, I've mispronounced. I like to think I've mispronounced more names in the in the greater Minnesota / Wisconsin Twin Cities KQ listening area than anybody that's ever been in this building.
I mean, that might be possible. We do have a very unique way of pronouncing just every damn city out there. So
I noticed, and
bad's on us.
I've been corrected more times than than I would care to recount. But anyway, Champlin, glad to have you with us this morning. Mm-hmm. Last night, the Oscar Awards went down. Anora won a ton. Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actress, Best Original Screenplay. My goodness, I guess that means we're all going to have to finally watch Anora. It's not like...
I mean, it's about a stripper, so that's an easy sell.
That's very true.
Me.
It's about a stripper and a Russian oligarch. So, hey, man, I mean, what else do you need to know? The Brutalist won a bunch of awards. Shut out from the big awards is, of course, the Bob Dylan biopic, A Complete Unknown. Timothy Chalamet was nominated. There were other nominations. Nobody brought home the gold. Conan O'Brien, the host, although did discuss the movie and a possible appearance. And, of course, it was a pretty good moment. Here's Conan.
Timothy Chalamet is up for Best Actor tonight. You're amazing. Timothy is nominated for his portrayal of Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan wanted to be here tonight, but not that badly.
There was another moment when Mick Jagger came out and was introduced, and the place went berserk, like standing ovation. He's like, thank you so much. He came out to give an award, and he said, they asked Bob Dylan to be here, and he didn't want to. They said they wanted someone younger. That's a pretty good moment. So, as I do every year, I watch highlights from the Oscars, and then I say, yeah, those look good. I'm going to have to go watch all these movies, and I won't. So... anybody that wants to share any thoughts on any of these big films, feel free, because I sure as hell didn't see them. And like I said, probably not gonna. That's the sad truth. There's your top 5 at 6 for a Monday morning, the first Monday in the month of March.
The KQ Morning Show on 92 KQRS. It's the KQ Morning Show on Minnesota's Classic Rock, 92 KQRS.
Boston, More Than a Feeling. Boston, a band is, they're from Boston. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Never would have guessed.
Go figure. Has there ever been a band called Minneapolis?
No.
Don't think so.
Not that I know of.
Man, it's
too hard to spell.
It doesn't roll off the tongue,
Boston's real easy to spell.
St. Paul could be a decent band name. I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, St. Paul. I mean, I'm not the best, but yeah, Minneapolis. Yeah, the spelling, the too many syllables. Boston. If you're from Boston, yeah, it makes sense. Kansas, Boston. All right. Glad we could have that. Glad we could figure that out.
5-6 letters max.
The Oscar Awards last night. Okay, first things first. The Best Picture, Anora is the big winner. If you told me, hey man, I wrote a film and it's about a stripper who's also like a full-on sex worker, and then she meets a Russian oligarch's young son, and he hires her for a week of private, just be my girlfriend, I'll pay you, and then they end up getting married, and this whole thing happens, and it goes awry and haywire. I would say, yeah, that's a standard B movie. That sounds like something that's a Netflix.
Woman.
I wouldn't have expected it to win the Oscar for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actress, and Best Screenplay, but that's what Anora did last night. Holy smokes. Also, it's an independent film, that's great. You know what I mean? It's not like some I can't say for sure, but as far as I know, there's no capes, there's no swords, there's no fire-eating, breathing dragons. Not a lot of CGI in this one. Just some good old-fashioned nudity.
Doing real
just
stuff?
some nudity and some drug use and some good old-fashioned sex worker stuff. Apparently, that is what the Oscars were looking for this year. Amazingly enough, last night's Oscars. I've seen some highlights. I did not stay up and watch the show. Hosted by Conan O'Brien, who, as you might expect, had a few perfectly fine moments.
Yeah, I only watched the Conan thing. Apparently, if you're Catholic, you get to make fun of Conclave.
Conclave? I'm a Catholic boy. I love Conclave. Yeah. Movie Conclave is nominated for Best Picture tonight. If you haven't seen Conclave, its logline is a movie about the Catholic Church, but don't worry.
Yes, as a good old Midwestern Irish Catholic myself, I can say that joke that's an approved joke.
Yes, and a little dangerous when he was making fun of Antonio Banderas.
You know, one of my favorite movies didn't get nominated this year, Baby Girl. Yeah, I love that film. In the film Baby Girl, Antonio Banderas plays a man who doesn't know how to give his wife an orgasm. Banderas described it as the most challenging role of his career.
Yeah.
Should have come to me, man. Should have come to me.
But I think the one that's kind of littering my social media feed was the Sandman made an appearance in the audience in a hoodie and some basketball shorts.
You're dressed like a guy playing video poker at 2 a.m., Adam.
You know what, Conan? I like the way I look, because I'm a good person. I don't care about what I wear or what I don't wear. Did my snazzy gym shorts and fluffy sweatshirt offend you so much that you had to mock me in front of my peers?
Hey, I'm sorry. Adam, I apologize.
I'm going. I'm going to go off. I go. You are all welcome to join me for a game of 5-on-5 basketball at Veteran Park tonight. Midnight tip-off, the guy from Nostarapo. Where is he? He's on my team. One more thing. Chalamet!
Sandler coming in hot.
Yes. He is my pick to host the Oscars in 2026. That went so well.
I imagine that was part of the plan. You know, you got to get in there. It's like at a political convention. Someone gives a keynote speech, and everyone goes, "Hey, that's your next candidate."
Yes.
That's it right there. A complete unknown. The story about Minnesota's Robert Zimmerman, Bob Dylan, didn't really win any big awards. It was nominated for all kinds of stuff. The more I've thought about it, I really enjoyed that movie when I saw it. I think it's because I didn't hate it. I then thought, oh my God, it was amazing.
Sure.
Because I expected to just think, no way you're going to pull this off. They did pull it off. And so I think a lot of that early love, that warm glow buzz around it probably faded because it's a good movie, but was it an Oscar winner? No, I don't think. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I also saw one other nominated film, Wicked. I slept for the first 30-so minutes of it and then woke up. I was with my daughter. She wanted to see it. You know, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
I had never had any idea what was happening. It just confused the living daylights out of me. Didn't like how it looked, didn't like how it sounded, didn't care about any of these people, and it ended, and I left, and I felt like I'd had, like a pound of sodium because we ate a lot of popcorn. So I'm happy to see that did not also win Best Picture Oscar. That's my Oscar recap.
All right. Good deal. Yes.
Works for me. We have an update for you. And by you, I mean everybody out there who listens to the show every day. This really sucks, but we just have to get into it for the second time today. We're letting you know. Friday morning, we were informed that Brian Zepp will no longer be with the KQ Morning Show moving forward. A lot of changes are on the way around here. This is a pretty big one. Very sadly for me, very sadly for Ryder. And we assume it's really very sadly for you as well. This is one of those changes. KQRS is going to be like just about every station you can look at, evolving over the next few weeks, over the next few months, over the next few years. Radio just works that way. But it is a slow-moving medium, as they say. It's going to take us a while to solidify exactly where we're going. But for right now, before we look forward, let's just sit with this for a minute because this sucks, and we feel very strongly about this. We need a little while to make sense of it. And most importantly, I just want to express, for me personally, I'm speaking for Ryder and for a lot of people in this building, but my profound appreciation for Zepp. I spoke to him on the phone in 2022 when I first got a call. Like, hey, any chance you want to come to Minneapolis and hop on the KQ Morning Show? It was suggested I give Zepp a call. And the first time we spoke, it was probably 30 minutes. I said, hey, this is Steve. And then he talked. And then I said, okay, cool. We'll talk to you soon. Because he just went on a bender, which was hilarious, the way he could do. And it took one phone call for me to know, yeah, I can absolutely do radio with this dude. And for 26 months, we've been doing just that. And it's been great. We all love radio around here. That's why we're here. I mean, Ryder, you grew up with KQRS. This is your lifelong station.
It's home.
I had a station like that. My dad ran a radio station when I was a kid, and I love nothing more than being in that station and sitting around and watching people talk about music and sports and movies and whatever. Just cut up and then play rock music. And I thought, man, that's a pretty good gig. Maybe I'll get into that one day. And that's exactly where Zepp was coming from. Same thing. What the hell do I do now? Oh, I know. I like music and I like goofing around and not having like a quote unquote day job. Radio is a huge part of all of our lives. And I'm speaking to you as well. We know that radio, this show in particular, has been an integral part of your days, of your commutes, of your workouts, of your entire lives. And Zepp has been a big part of that for years and years. So we don't take any of this lightly at all. This is an emotional thing for Ryder. It's an emotional thing for me, and it's an emotional thing for a lot of people in this building. We're going to keep doing this job. We're going to try to make it great because, you know, what's the point otherwise? But right now, as I say this, we just want to say with love and respect, thank you very much to Brian Zepp. Everyone who let Zepp into their lives, I know, appreciates and feels the same sense of gratitude. Zepp, we greatly appreciate you. Thank you, brother.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. It's the KQ Morning Show on Minnesota's Classic Rock, 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. It's Monday, March the 3rd. Alice in Chains right there. Boy, they weren't kidding around.
No.
That was a band with a statement to make, and they made it pretty damn near every time. You know what? It's a Monday morning. We're in the month of March somehow. Let's get right to your top 5 at 9, shall we? Sad local news for a band that is beloved around the world. Joey Molland died over the weekend. He was 77. Guitarist for Badfinger. Now, they are not from this area, although Joey's lived here for 40 years. He died, I think, Saturday. It was at a hospital in St. Louis Park, struggling with diabetes for years. Badfinger, as great a woulda, coulda, shoulda band as there's ever been. They had several giant hits. Day After Day, No Matter What, Baby Blue. But they just didn't ever put it all together. You know, they just sort of bad management, didn't have the right people working for them, and like so many bands, a cautionary tale. Great albums and not much else going well for Badfinger. But Joey kept that music alive and played it for the last several decades, and was a good friend of many people in this area. I never met the man. I know a ton of people that did. Rest easy, Joey. Our condolences to your friends and family, and of course fans around the world. Also over the weekend, David Johansen died, singer for the New York Dolls, one of the original New York punk bands, an incredibly influential and impactful band, at least in terms of other musicians. Kind of like the Velvet Underground line, which is only 1,000 people bought their records, but all 1,000 of those people started their own band.
Yes.
That's the New York Dolls in a very similar way. They got a lot of people off the couch to go, okay, I got to go do that now. And David Johansen in the 80s kind of came back as Buster Poindexter, this lounge act who had the hot, huge hit song and a video MTV played relentlessly. He was on Saturday Night Live regularly in the mid-'80s. He would just pop on for a song with the band. And also appeared in the movie Scrooged. He was the ghost of Christmas Past.
It was this weekend that I discovered that those two were one and the same, that it was David Johansen and the ghost of Christmas Past taxi driver.
He just announced a month ago that he had been diagnosed with cancer, and he'd had a lot of health problems. And I heard from a lot of people just in that New York Dolls, again, that's one of those bands that in musician circles, there's a whole lot of Oh, man, I remember the first time. That's a band people, there's Big Star, the New York Dolls, Velvet Underground, bands that people love so intensely but never found huge audiences. But like I said, two musicians, man, they mean the world. Rest easy, David Johansen. Number 4 on your top 5 at 9, Buckets, Paige Beckers from Hopkins. Yeah. Before there was all this Caitlin Clark nonsense, it was Paige Beckers that was the best basketball player in the country, best women's player. She missed a year with her injury, so now as a senior, fifth-year senior year at Connecticut, the Yukon Huskies, she got her banner lifted into the rafters, which is no easy feat at the University of Connecticut as a women's basketball player. My God. Yeah. Number 5 went into the rafters. Very, very well deserved. The Dallas Wings, a new team, will have Paige Beckers lining up for them. That's the safest bet you can find right now in the world of sports. Who are they going to draft? Paige Beckers.
Yes.
Great baller, to say the very least. Number 3 on your top 5 at 9. Here's a new term making its way around offices and work sites. The new workplace term for when you are simply trying to look busy. You want someone to think you're busy. It's called task masking.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Or as I have referred to it at almost every job I ever had, working. Because I've put in hard days of work, and part of that effort was in making it look like I was working even harder than I really was. Even when I'm working hard, I want it to look like I'm working harder.
Absolutely.
It's the old Bob Uecker thing. He said when I would be running out a ground ball to first, he was really slow, but he would, with his hands, as he was pumping his arms, he would knock his own hat off his head. So it looked like he was running so fast the wind blew his hat. That's task masking right there, even in baseball. You could do it anywhere. Come on.
Noted.
Gen Z workers have all the tips on TikTok for how to task mask. The big one is walking fast with a laptop stuffed under your armpits. Yeah, we see a lot of that around here.
We do.
Oh, my God. What's wrong with us? Number 2 on your top 5 at 9. If you got an ice house up on a lake today in the southern 2/3 of Minnesota, you better be getting it off the ice today.
Yeah.
This is the deadline. If you have been angling out there on the ice, today is your final day. If you're up north, you still have 2 more weeks till March 17th. But with, temperatures in the 50s over the weekend, or
right?
It certainly felt like it, if not
It was.
technically. Oh, my God, what a day. It was gorgeous yesterday. We don't have to explain why it's important to get these houses off the ice,
It's
do
been
we?
more than nice enough lately. If you've still got a fish house out there, come on, man, get on it.
After this winter, if you had the guts to put up a fish house, I give you credit for that. Because I'm still like, my first winter here, everything was frozen solid for months, and I was like, hey, this is Minnesota. And now these last 2 winters, I'm like, man, I don't even go up near the shore. I don't even get near the shoreline because I'm just like, I don't believe it. I don't care what you say. That's not real ice. I mean, I might go out there with you got to drop a bowling ball out of a helicopter before I believe the ice is strong enough.
Oh, it sounds like a promotion for next year.
I'd like to do that.
Yeah,
I'd really like to drop.
I'd
like to drop a bunch of crap out of a helicopter right on Lake Harriet, if you don't mind. That'd be fun.
Yes.
Hey, want to give a morning shout out to Cambridge. Our friends in Cambridge who are with us, you know what to do. Glad to have you, Cambridge. Number 1 on your top 5 at 9. The Oscars were last night. Of the 10 nominated films, let's see. I saw Wicked, which I slept through for the most part. I saw The Complete Unknown, which I really enjoyed, and Anora, which it's not a movie you can say you enjoy. It's a tough story, but a fitting it's a great performance from Mikey Madison, and she did in fact win Best Actress. The big upset was, a lot of people thought this was Demi Moore. Demi or Demi? What? I see it both. Demi Moore. This was her year for The Substance. Best Actress nomination. And everybody was like, oh, my God, she's finally, what a career, what a blah, blah. And no, it was Mikey Madison, who's, like 24 years old. And if I'm not mistaken, The Substance movie is kind of all about younger women taking the place of older women, and they want to look younger, and they get it all. I don't know. There was something about that seemed a little ironic. You know what I mean?
Sure.
These things happen.
She did get that cold open from Conan, though, when he just crawled out of her body. I mean, that's better than an Oscar.
Conan O'Brien, a fine job as the host. And I'm a Conan fan, although even I will say small doses is the way to ingest Conan O'Brien's humor to me. And so in the little bits, he comes out a lot of one-liners, a lot of jabs. jabbing and moving. I thought he was great as the host.
Absolutely.
Let's see here. Oh, there was one other I was going to mention. I'm just totally spacing. Oh, I want to see The Brutalist. That's the other one. So I'm looking at all the films that Dune Part 2. I don't care.
Yeah, I didn't see the first Dune, and I guess it's real confusing, and that's just not the mindset I am in today.
No, not me either. Oh, Real Pain. That's the other one. Pain.
I did see A Real Pain.
Oh, did you? How was it?
Yeah, I liked it a lot, but very reflective of my life because I got two cousins who are kind of total bleep-ups.
Okay.
And I am the sane one, and I was like, damn it, I should have just written that into a movie. And got an Oscar and called it good.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. Well, that's your marching orders. I'm gonna set up a helicopter to drop crap on Lake Harriet, and you need to write a screenplay about your insane cousins, the Bleep Ups. That's a name for a band, the Bleep Ups.
There we go.
We're getting there, one step at a time. We're getting there. All right, we got a long day ahead of us. So the question that begs itself: what you gonna do? Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS. It's the KQ Morning Show on Minnesota's Classic Rock. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. It is Monday, March the 3rd. The day is still short. We got plenty of time left in the day. Ryder, what you going to do?
Well, despite your advice, I think I'm going down a Conan rabbit hole this afternoon.
Are you?
I want some Walker, Texas Ranger level. I want some string dancing.
Okay.
I want all of the good Late Night with Conan O'Brien old stuff.
Sure. I actually went down the old Conan O'Brien, Amy Poehler rabbit hole recently. Do you remember that she, like the first time anybody ever saw Amy Poehler, she would come on the Conan show in the 90s as Andy's little sister. Do you remember that?
Oh, really? No, I don't.
And she was madly in love with Conan, and she was like obsessed and weird and creepy. You can just Google Amy Poehler Conan. It's really funny.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely worth your time.
Noted.
I had plans for the day, and I'm going to scrap all of them because I have that very vague tickle in my throat that says maybe a sore throat trying to show up, and it's simply because I had a terrible night's sleep last night. So really all that has to happen is I got to go take a good solid nap, not one of my 20 minutes sitting up in a chair nap.
6 hours.
I'm going to go get into bed, and I'm going to wake up sometime this afternoon, and I'll feel better, and I'll drink some tea, and then I'll go to bed tonight, and then I'll come back tomorrow, and I'll feel like $100.
Great. Can't wait.
That's really it. That's about all I got.
So nervous right now.
For the third or fourth time today, I do have to take a moment though to mention. There's an update here from KQRS. So for everybody who's just tuning in, this sucks, but I'm going to jump right into it. We found out Friday that Brian Zepp will no longer be a part of the KQ Morning Show. There are some big changes that need to be made around here, and very sadly for both of us, Zepp departing the show is one of those changes. And we're going to be evolving and changing as things do in radio over the next few months. And we can't say exactly where we're going, but that's our job, is to figure that out and get there. And that's how whether you're aware of it or not, every radio show is in a constant state of evolution and change and trying things. Right now, it's a bit more of a little more intense maybe than the average because we've just lost a huge part of this show. Most importantly for today, we want to express our profound appreciation for Brian Zepp. I knew I would make a go of it up here the first time he and I talked about maybe working together. It didn't take long on the phone for me to recognize, this is going to be great. It'll be easy. We'll find it. And I remember very clearly, I was just thinking about this earlier this morning. My first week on this show in January of 23, we were on the first Friday after 5 days of the show. We were all just sitting around looking at each other, and me and Zepp were like, this is working? In radio, you usually say, give it 3 months and then see where it goes. And we felt right away in the first week that we sensed enough to definitely lean in and keep going. Everybody here and everybody listening, obviously we all love radio. And Zepp loves radio, and Zepp's really good at this, and he's a great radio personality and a great hang and a good friend. We don't take any of this lightly at all. A lot of tears for me. I haven't cried yet because what I usually do is what I did, and I threw up when I heard. And sorry, Ryder. I mean, it's just what it is.
Embarrassing amount of waterworks.
Yeah. Don't
tell Zepp.
We're gonna show up and keep doing what we do, but right now the most important thing with with great love and respect. Thank you, Brian Zepp, from all of us who let you into their lives and we let you into our lives. And thank you for having us in yours. Seriously, thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Get the KQ Morning Show podcast wherever you listen. 92 KQRS.